What is Pareto chart? Pareto chart is also called Pareto diagram and Pareto analysis. A Pareto chart is a bar graph. The length of the bar represents frequency of costs such as time or money, and are arranged with longest bar on the left and the shortest to the right. In this way, the chart visually depicts which situations are more significant. This cost analysis tool is considered one of the 7 basic quality tools.
When to use a Pareto chart? First point, when analyzing data about the frequency of problems or causes in a process. When there are many problems or causes and you want to focus on the most significant. When analyzing broad causes by looking at their specific components. When communicating with others about your data.
Pareto analysis step by step. Pareto analysis is a statistical technique in decision making used for the selection of a limited number of tasks that produce significant overall effect. It uses the Pareto principles, also known as the 80-20 rule, the idea that by doing 30% of the work, you can generate 80% of the benefit of doing the entire job. Take quality improvement for example. A vast majority of problems, which is 80%, are produced by a few key causes, which is 20%. This technique is also called the vital few and the trivial many. We can apply the 80-20 rule to almost anything. For example, 80% of customer complaints arise from 20% of your products and services. 80% of delays in the schedule result from 20% of the possible causes of the delays. 20% of your products and services account for 80% of your profit. Next, 20% of your sales force produce 80% of your company revenues. And lastly, 20% of a system defect cause 80% of its problems.
There are 8 steps to construct a Pareto diagram. First, create a vertical bar chart with causes on the x-axis and count number of occurrences on the y-axis. Then, arrange the bar chart in descending order of cost importance, that is, the cost with the highest count first. Then, we calculate the cumulative count for each cost in descending order. After that, calculate the cumulative count percentage for each cost in descending order. Percentage calculations equals to individual cost count divided by total cost count times 100. Then create a second y-axis with percentages descending in increment of 10 from 100% to 0%. Then plot the cumulative count percentage of each cost on the x-axis. After that, join the points to form a curve. Step 8. Draw a line at 80% on the y-axis running parallel to the x-axis. Then drop the line at the point of intersection with the curve on the x-axis. This point on x-axis separates the important causes on the left, vital few, from the less important causes on the right, trivial many.
Example of Pareto diagram based on figure 1. Here is a simple example of a Pareto diagram using sample data showing the relative frequency of causes for errors on websites. It enables you to see what 20% of cases are causing 80% of the problems and where efforts should be focused to achieve the greatest improvement. In this case, we can see that broken links, spelling errors, and missing title tags should be the focus. The value of the Pareto principle for a project manager is that it reminds you to focus on the 20% of things that matter. Of the things you do for your project, only 20% are crucial. That 20% produces 80% of your results. Identify and focus on those things first, but don't entirely ignore the remaining 80% of the causes.
When you should use a Pareto chart? It is mainly used in quality management related processes. Along with quality management, this tool can also be used with other situations, such as when you have a lot of data and you want to analyze it, when you want to identify the main cause for most of the problems, when communicating data with stakeholders, and when you want to prioritize tasks, and then when you want to see the relative importance of data.
Benefit of Pareto analysis. The following are a few benefits of Pareto analysis. Drawing a Pareto chart is easy. This diagram helps you segregate the problems and their causes. It helps you focus on solving the few causes which are generating the maximum amount of problems. It shows you the problems to focus and get the most significant improvement. This chart helps visualize problems quickly, so this is an excellent visual communication tool as well.
Limitations of Pareto analysis. The following are a few limitations of Pareto analysis. The Pareto principle is a rule of thumb which is not a universal law and cannot be applied in all cases. It does not help you find the root cause of the problem, so you will need another tool such as root cause analysis to use it effectively. If there are many problems, you may need more sub-Pareto charts such as segregate, which sometimes may be cumbersome.
In conclusion, the Pareto chart is a visual chart which has vertical bars and a line graph. The bars represent the individual values of the problem in descending order, and the lines represent the cumulative sum, and the bars are segregated in descending order from left to right. This chart helps project managers to identify the causes and the most of the problems the process is facing. It also helps management prioritize tasks and activities. Being a variant of a bar chart, it is simple to draw, use, and communicate problems to stakeholders.